Hello, welcome to another episode of PaystreakTV. I'm your prospector, Chris. We're in Canton today. We're just south of the downtown area there. We are going to prospect the Nimishellin Creek. If we can figure out how to get down here. That's a big if. Wow. Can't believe how quick the stuff is growing up. Oh, this ain't too shabby. It's a bigger river than I'm normally on. Looks like there's a feeder creek right there, some kind. But yeah, we're gonna try to find a spot where we can get comfortable and get in there, and maybe we'll go up by the bridge there. Looks like there's a couple spots I can get down a little bit closer to the bank. Well, we'll find a spot and we'll start digging a pan. Back in a bit. Alright, we're back on PaystreakTV. Found a spot here. Got some rocks and stuff to stand on. There's a little feeder creek that's running into the river, so we're picking this spot here because whenever you got two waters coming together in Ohio, there's twice the chance that maybe there's some gold here. It tends to concentrate it more, so we're going to count on this river right here flooding once in a while and maybe hitting this bank right here, maybe turning that into a riffle along with everything else that's coming out of the feeder creek, and we might hit some of that right there along that bank here. But we gotta hurry, the sun's going down. I'm doing this after work today. It's already 6:30. But I'll tell you what, the sun may be going down. It's nice out. I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing after a hard day at work at the shop than extracting some gold. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good spot. You know, easy to get to. You know, you talk about tools when you're prospecting, you know, tools like the strainer and the pan and bucket and stuff like that, but you want to know a really good tool for prospecting. It's Google Earth. That's how I found this spot. This is right off of 77, about 10 minutes away from my house, right off the highway. That's some of you older folks, if you're from around here, you see the lights there. That's Thurman Munson Stadium. Or at least I think that's what it was. You know, some of you old timers from around here can correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I got a pull off right up over this bank right here. And I don't know, Canton, nobody's mugged me yet, so I think it's a good spot. We're gonna get to it. Back in a bit. Okay, we're back. PaystreakTV. I just did that first pan and turned out to be a dud. Can't always get a flake on your first one. I was getting spoiled there for the last few episodes. But I tell you what we're going to do. Since I didn't even see anything that was even microscopic in that one, we're going to come over here. All this stuff here has been piling up, and I'm hoping this corner of the bank right here was acting as kind of a riffle. You know, we got some little bit of negative pressure going on here. I don't know, that's not a lot. I would like to get over on the other side there where that real fast current is happening, because there's maybe 3 or 4 foot of calm water right on the other side of that you can get to from that rock pile right there. And I don't know who owns that property. When I drive out of here today, I'm going to look real close and see if I can see anybody sitting there, and if not, we might just poke in there some other time. But right now, task at hand. We're gonna get some of that and see what it looks like. So we'll pan that down and be back in a minute. Alright, we're back on PaystreakTV. Just got my second pan out of there. Honkers. First pan was a dud. Yeah, I've been spoiled rotten down there in downtown Nimishellin the last couple days. All little flecks and flakes I've been finding, but you know, the show is about prospecting in Ohio, and I gotta try to hit any place that I possibly can, you know, within reason. Gas is what, almost $4 a gallon. This material has a lot of rocks in it, like bigger rocks, so you gotta actually sift through a little bit more to get a nice pile of sand. But that's okay. You know, rocks are easier to deal with than clay any day of the week. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with making you watch me do that. I'm going to get that finished pan down, and if there's anything in there, we'll show it to you. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Back in a bit. Alright, we're back on PaystreakTV. That's 2 duds in a row. Nothing in that one either. Nothing even really small, so we're going to get out of this spot. I think we're going to see if we can get down along the bank of the bridge there and get one more test pan out. Alright, we're back on PaystreakTV. This is going to be our third and final sample of the night. We are under the bridge. I think this is Mill Street or something, right off of Route 800. You go down 77 South, get off on 800, and then you turn left on Mill Street, and then left again, you'll see the river. I am looking at all this sand and dirt and stuff, and I'm thinking whenever this thing floods, the way this rock wall kind of comes around the curve right here, all of this might be negative pressure. So we're going to start at the bottom there and dig down a bit and see what's going on with that. Either that or it's all muck, but yeah, last pan, what the heck, we'll try anyhow. As long as I don't pan up a dead body. Back in a bit. Alright, well, we're back and we have struck out. That is what it is. You know, it's not always like in previous episodes where things are just going crazy and you're finding all kinds of color. You know, it's hard in Ohio. To be completely honest with you, the gold's smashed up into a zillion little pieces, and you know, some spots you find it, some spots you don't, and looks like this spot here you don't really find a whole lot. Not to say we couldn't go over on the other side of the river and prospect a bit, but I mean, that's what the show is. We're prospecting Ohio. Like I said, you work hard for your gold here in Ohio, and that's what makes it really special when you do find places that have a lot of it. So we're gonna go up the bank here. Oh, hi.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Not too bad, yourself?
Not bad. You care if you're on YouTube? I think I got you for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm making videos.
I thought you was fishing.
No, I was prospecting.
I almost said, are you catching?
No, it doesn't look like anything's in that river.
Oh, there's a bunch of fish.
Is there really?
Oh, heck yeah.
I wasn't seeing anything jumping or nothing. Alright, we're back on PaystreakTV. We're in the truck. Didn't do any good. Didn't find no gold, so it is what it is. It's Ohio. That being said, thanks for watching anyhow. Join us for another episode of PaystreakTV. I'm Chris.